Player arrived at Aochi to tell Darkmoon Princess about the event with the Choen Palm and faced the Lord of the Darkmoon Castle in front of the Darkmoon Castle. Player told the story of meeting Choen Palm to Lord of the Darkmoon Castle and asked where Darkmoon Princess was. Then Lord told player to help Darkmoon Princess, who is defeating the remnants of the rebels, hiding in the Owl Castle, and tell a story by himself. After stepping into the Owl Castle nearby Darkmoon Castle, player defeated a small number of rebels and found Darkmoon Princess at the deep inside of castle. Darkmoon Princess attacked the rebels around her in no hurry, and she told player to chase the enemies and told him to run away when player meets Tengu, who got magic. Left the princess behind, player killed all the remnants of enemy. After that, he felt some power to open the Owl Castle's watchtower. At there, player met Tengu that heard from princess. Instinctively aware of the danger, the player ignored the princess's saying and started to fight against Tengu. Finally, during the long battle with Tengu ended with the intervention of Darkmoon Princess, who defeated all the rebel remnants. Tengu stopped attacking first and told them he was pretended guarding spell to test player's ability because the player looked like he had the talent to succeed Tengu. After everything was over, player told the princess the story of meeting Choen Palm. After hearing all the stories, princess headed somewhere to meet Choen Palm, saying there must be the reason for Choen Palm's behavior in Paleface. When the player who followed the princess through the Midgard arrived at the Valhalla on the summit of Bifrost, he found the princess lying on the floor in the Valhalla's throne and Choen Palm looking up at the sky with empty feeling. Choen Palm, who discovered the player, turned into a phoenix form, spewing fire to kill the player because he got angry to player, who never knew the truth of the word but believed that he was on the side of justice. After a harsh battle, player seems to win by turning off the flame of Choen Palm, but Choen Palm burnt flame even louder while laughing at player and returned to the state of beginning. Then Choen Palm began to use the power of the devil to turn the player into Akashura while saying to him to feel unfairness of justice and providence which he was believed in. No matter how hard he struggled and resisted, everything was useless in front of the power of the devil. The player thought it was over. Suddenly, player felt soul of a boy who similar with Iris from Choen Palm, and then Choen Palm began to suffer, and the power of the devil that restrained the player was disappeared. Choen Palm was no choice to leave because of the boy's mental attack made Choen Palm's body hard to control. The player who managed to save life rushed to Midgard with a fallen princess on his back. After guiding princess in a safe place, the player went back to Asgard following Iris's footsteps through a space shuttle with the help of a Skura from the summit of Bifrost. He helped NPC in Asgard, helped to repair the first prototype belt, Angel Type SP737, commonly known as Elme, and met Ruby and Kai in some place that connected with the parallel world in D-level. After a short meeting of Kai and Ruby, their location's dimensional stability went down. Player thought it might be dangerous to stay. Luckily, with the help of Sarasvati, player escaped from there. At Section 3, player faced Sarasvati and said want to move to Iris' final destination, Yggdrasil. But Sarasvati told that is impossible because of the goddess of Hell. Hell, who came from another world, located in a tunnel between Dilabo and Yggdrasil, was blocking the entrance and changed the entrance to Hell's door. In addition, current world might be collided with the others because of a decreasing of stability. So, Sarasvati asked to clean up the Hell's door, which contained dimensional stabilizers. As player arrived at the Hell's doors, the player attacked by Hell and the battle began. 2 years ago, when space-time portal which linking with Hell's world and Atwar, Latale world, was opened, Hell was caught up in the space-time worm while coming over to Atwar, and the battle ended with the removal of the space-time worm that was attached to Hell in a battle that could not be assured of victory. After battle, Hell was a goddess with a special mission related to destruction, and she said Atwar had nothing to do with her mission and promised to return to her world when the dimension will be stabilized. After that, in Purified Hell's Door, the player asked to move to Yggdrasil for Yggdrasil managers Record and Query, who repair dimensional stabilizers, but they were pointed to a portal eroded by something while saying more time will be needed. When the player left from there after promising with a Record and a Query, some videos suddenly played on Iris' stone pagoda in the Hell's Door. First, a video that the devil provoked the Team Iris 2 years ago was played. Second video included that Choen created Ganape with the technology of the Chimera Lab, used Ganape to help the kings provoke Team Iris, and planned to tear Ganape, making Iris angry as soon as he faced Team Iris. Third, Kazano's video was appeared. In the last video, Iris appeared. At the end of the video, Record and Yukari were in panic, and the player was assimilated with emotions Aris and yelled to open the door to Yggdrasil right away with anger. Fortunately, Hel summoned the player to her front and persuaded him with the hopeful stories. Calm player decided to take the time to wait for the purifying of the porter heading to Yggdrasil. After a few days, the player got contacted by Record and Yukari that porter that heading to Yggdrasil was all cleaned up.